Only the lucky ones, motherfuckers, man. Fuck, that's some badass fucking tunes, dude. I got another number, man. I'm gonna try it this time, dude. Let's see if we can get him on the fucking line, dude. Fuck, man. Fingers crossed, motherfuckers. Fingers crossed. Hey, dude.
Fine. Is not available.
Zach?
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's me, dude.
When you finish recording, you may hang
Oh, man, it's all fucked up. I don't know what's going on, man. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I
Yeah.
could,
That's crazy, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. Technology's just fucking crazy, I guess. I don't know, man.
It's all good, man. I'm glad we finally got you on the air, though, man. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, man, I could hear you calling, man. And I'm like, man, it's not coming through for some reason. But anyways, hey, we're here, man. You know?
All right.
That's rock and roll, you know.
Hey, man, it's all good, dude. Fucking live radio, man. So,
yeah, man.
So we just got done blasting a couple of tracks, man. We played Control, and then we played Lucky Ones. Tell us, man, what's going on in the world of Tyranny of Thieves?
Well, man, we're just we're in the middle right now of just trying to get the show set ready and ready to get out there and do this thing, man. I mean, that's kind of been the gist. We've been banging this out for a couple of years now, and it just it's come to that point where we're ready to go, and the album's taken a while to do, but so as time goes, member changes, this, that, and the other thing, but we think we've got a great lineup right now, and here we go, man.
Hell yeah, man. Well, these fucking songs are fucking they're fucking jamming, dude. I'm digging it, man. Fucking can you tell us a little bit, like, give us a backstory about the band, like how did you guys get started and how long have you been doing this?
Oh man, I mean, so I go back to 5 years old. I can start, kind of briefly with that. I mean, I've been singing for a long time, man. I mean, from band to band to band, been in some really, really good bands, and and done some pretty cool things. And I mean, from the start, first recording was Magnum Alfred Studios back in like '84. And that studio's been long gone, but that was the band called Noble Savage with a drummer called Brent Smedley, who played with Iced Earth and has done some really cool stuff in his career. But
nice.
That was our first gig. Found me at a talent show, and that was after a couple of bands in Iron Maiden tribute band I played when I was 14, and et cetera, and so on.
Shit.
Did some really cool shit, man, and did some hair metal, did some Poison type shit, and just did some real heavy shit. And I'll be real honest with you, man, I think the heaviest stuff for me was always the answer to my problems. It really was, man, because I think in '94 with Psychosis, we recorded a really cool album called Total Disregard of Reality. That was 1994. It was at Morris Sound Studios in Tampa, and met Cannibal Corpse out there, which was kind of cool. And we were recording our thing. They were doing their thing at the time, and they had just done that Ace Ventura Pet Detective where they did that scene in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
but,
I saw that in the theater, man.
Yeah, man. So, and we were talking about it and shit. It was kind of funny, man. They were, cool story. They were kind of hanging out, playing the song. Nobody's talking except for, the actors at the time. They're not even playing, man. They're just kind of just acting like they're playing. He said it was the weirdest thing, but really cool, man. But that was a great experience. Went out to California, had Bo Hill producing. Bo had done like 5 Rad albums, and did a few other really cool albums, and not really what we were looking for with the heavy sound we were trying to gain from that record, and had some chances to play with bands like Pantera and stuff like that at a time back in the '90s. That was kind of cool, and then from there just kind of blanked out for a little while. Took a little retirement, had a couple of kids, and came back later on, man, and got back in the swing of things, and did a band called Juggernaut. That was pretty cool. More of the long lines of maybe a Queensryche, just I don't know. It was more of a power metal type band, and that was a pretty cool experience. So I had some really great musicians in that as well, man. Just some really cool cats. And then I did another band from Cincinnati, Ohio, called Trials by Faith. Never released the EP, but great music. I'm actually about to release a lot of that music that was previously unreleased, just because it's just a shame. It was all, recorded professionally, but just, for whatever reasons, things, happen to where they just don't get released, So, I'm going to go back and release a lot of stuff that I've done that has never been released,
Very cool, man. So,
Yeah.
So it sounds like you. I mean, fuck, like that's like a pretty full circle type deal, man. And you're talking about all kinds of different stuff too, man. Everything from fucking rap, to Poison, Pantera, fucking Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, my listening preferences are really just all across the board, man. I mean,
man, I'm the same way, dude.
You know what I mean? I'm just not pigeonholed into one thing. So, but no, with this band here, we started a couple years back. Had a different drummer at the time before Tyrell came in, and started writing the first material. And this was going to be an all original band. We started talking about, maybe we'll do a few covers, but no, it was all original. We started playing it, and the first song came out, the second song, and the drummer goes, man, if you guys are going to be this heavy, I just can't do it. I'm like, dude, when he said that, I'm like, you pretty much pack your shit at that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I'm like, this is nothing, man. And and my guitar player at the time, he's a big Dimebag fan, knew Dime pretty well, and back in the early days. And anyway, he had a lot of influence from that, and a lot of his writing, was like that, and anyway, so that was here we go on the journey of getting the guys in the band that fit, make it work, and let's get it right. And that writing process took quite a while to really achieve and get done,
Hell yeah, man. Well, I got some questions for you coming in from the listeners, man. Carl McIsaac, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Carl.
Hell yeah, he keeps asking me, man, what happened to Juggernaut, dude?
Well, the real story behind Juggernaut is, it's a 5-piece band, so you're dealing with a lot of different people and a lot of different lifestyles. And but we got asked to do a festival in Colorado, and a couple of the guys could not go. And it was not to mention the monetary value, but it was pretty significant. And two of the guys couldn't do it, couldn't leave their families. And at that point, I didn't realize, at that point that guys that could not go on the road and could not do this at that level, and even though great musicians, just fantastic musicians, great personalities, just great guys, I knew at that point I got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that pretty much solidified it. It really did. That was kind of it. And we had a lot of songs in the can too. It was too bad because we had pretty much a full album. We've gotten together and talked about it a couple of times recently about possibly, rehashing some of that stuff and at least putting out the full record just to get that out there. And you never know what comes from that, but it was just something that we talked about doing. But I don't think it would ever progress in anything beyond just a record,
Well, yeah, you should definitely. I would definitely say, man, go ahead and put it out, man, because with all the different platforms and everything that's available nowadays on the internet, might as well,
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, man. And the music industry has changed so much, man. It's just from where we were back in the day with handing out flyers and just record labels and how things used to be, completely different now, and it's just everybody can get out there now, which is cool to some extent, and then to some extent it just saturates the industry so much that it just makes it more difficult to get to that level to where you need to be.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Another question.
A lot of talent out there, though.
Another question. Carl wants to know: did you meet Michelle at Hooters?
No, I did not. I did not know her there. But No, I met her because I was doing a calendar for Juggernaut, and that's the lead. That was the lead on. I needed a month of somebody, and I rang her up on that and said, "Hey, would you be interested?" I even gave her 2 months on that, by the way. But that's kind of how that one-liner went, and the rest is pretty much history from there,
Right on. Another question. Lady Red wants to know, what do you prefer, bloodbaths or showers?
Ooh, man, I don't know. That depends on what night of the week it is, I guess, and how full the moon is and all that good stuff. But I could probably go a week without a shower. But the bloodbath thing, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I never really thought about it like that. But I don't know. I guess I can go either way. I mean, it's 50-50. How about that?
Right on. Next question. Carl wants to know, have you ever landed in jail while on tour?
No. True story, though. I did, I guess, use profanity in a public dwelling on an outdoor concert back in, I'd say probably 87, 88, and it was outdoor in Jacksonville Beach, and it was with a band called Twice Lucky at the time, and I guess I said a lot of words, and because it's in public, cops were looking for me, but I ducked under the drum riser, hauled ass backstage, and just left, and they didn't get me, so I guess I dodged one there, but no. I guess the answer is no then.
Right on. Next question. Vicky wants to know, what do you wear when you're on stage? Boxers or briefs?
I wear the Brazilian. I don't know what they're called. Kind of like Speedos, but I don't know. And they even have like the little pouch on the front, which I really like. Really comfortable. I don't know if that's like that commercial with those. I don't know what that those shit. The underwear and the Duluth or something, but it's not. They're not Duluth, but they're Brazilian. So I wear like just different prints or whatever. But yeah, they're like kind of like Speedos, but different. I guess I don't know, man.
Right on. Yeah. Speaking of a live show, like for people out there who have never seen you guys live, what could they expect at a live show?
Well, I mean, that's one thing that we've really been working hard, because that's something we really want to bring to people, that is just beyond just stepping out on stage and performing the songs, giving them a show, maybe, fire, smoke, great light show, great staging. So we're working on all of that stuff. And that's something we've been working on for, the last 6 months. We actually rented a warehouse, a huge warehouse, and set up full staging just so we could actually rehearse some of that stuff in a timing, because I play some of the keyboards on the songs too, but it's something we've been kicking around, is whether or not am I going to play the keyboards live on stage. They don't really interfere with a lot of stuff I'm singing, or do we backtrack the keyboards? So we're just trying to do the show to where we give people something special and not just a regular here I am, check it out show. You know what I mean? So give them the whole deal.
Hell yeah.
So they can expect a hell of a show, though, that's for sure.
Now, if you guys could play with anybody, like open up or headline or do a festival with anybody in the world, who would it be?
Oh, man. Damn, that's a tough one. Some guys aren't even around anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say alive or dead, man.
Yeah, I mean, really, if, I mean, with what style of music that we're probably doing, I would say in today's genre, I would have to say it would probably be more cool to open up for somebody like maybe a Disturbed or something, only because, what they do is, close to maybe what we do. And then, man, I mean, really, Pantera would be fucking killer, man. I mean, just all-out killer guys, just killer shit, man. But I mean, I don't know, man. There's so many my influences go back to, I mean, Jeff Tate was one of my major influences, man. And, I love Jeff, killer guy, met him a couple of times. Actually, going to see him here in September coming up. But, man, he's a cool cat and really big influence. Vince Neil, believe it or not. I mean, as far as when Shout at the Devil came out, going that route, I mean, Vince, and when I saw Looks to Kill on, I can't remember what show it was, but I was a kid, and I'm watching the show and I'm like, damn, man, I got to do that shit,
Yeah.
And, the look, fuck, man, the look was killer back then, Then, of course, Theater of Pain came out. I'm like, shit, what happened, But, and it was like, damn, man, what happened to Shouting at the Devil and all that shit? Now,
it was
now
the
we're talking about
chicks,
smoking
man.
in the boys' room?
It was
Come on,
the chicks. All those chicks,
Home
man.
Sweet Home, shit. Hey, I won $100 singing that song in Daytona one time, just so you know.
I think it was the chicks, man. They were around all those chicks. They just started.
Yeah.
They just started. I don't know, just they fell into it, man. They just started looking like them.
Cheesing it up a little bit, but I mean, the bandanas, the spandex, and all that shit. I mean, it's just one of those progressions of music, man.
But they kind of led the fucking. They led a lot of trends. I remember back in those days, because like every time they would change their look, everybody else would change their look. Like Girls came out, and they took off all the makeup and stuff, and they replaced it with leather and started doing tattoos. Next thing you know, everybody else doing the same thing. I'm like, they were on to something, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to remember, man. I mean, I was at a time when, record labels and MTV dominated shit. So when you had a video out, it was kind of like, now we release videos, we put them on YouTube, cross our fingers, hope for the best. And back then, you were just, dude, you were glued to the TV, and man, it's a world premiere video, whether it was Slayer, because, I mean, come on, man, Headbangers Ball, I mean, I can't tell you how many fucking times that, the friends and I, man, we'd have 30, 40 people over at the Memes house and hanging out and just watching Headbangers Ball, man. I mean, that was the shit, And, but we don't have that now. Now it's kind of like self-generated, man. I mean, we're kind of in that world now, but, you really got to work hard to, get that stuff out there, man. It's just not given to you anymore like it used to be. Record label pick you up, they put the money in you, they put the album out, they put the video out. And I've talked to some of those guys from the past and, found out, a lot of inside info on, the cost of the video, what it took out of their budget. Some guys that were on Warner Brothers Records at the time, and I won't mention any names, but, he told me, dude, he was broke with the 2 videos. And even though the album sold, 250,000 copies, which is probably not that big, but for an instrumental artist, it was huge. And just the amount of money that's poured in, but you pay that back, man. And now, fortunately, with the budgets we have now, man, we can shoot those videos at a lesser budget, and then you know what I mean, and still put it out there. But it's just the audience is different now,
Yeah. Well, they have so much more to look at, so it's like it's saturated, man. Millions, man. So
sure.
Looking back on your career, I'm sure you've met a lot of different people and stuff like that. Like, can you tell us some highlights? Like, what are some moments that really stand out in your mind when you look back?
Man, I would have to say, I think probably my Psychosis days were probably some of the craziest times, because I think I was 23 at the time, and I think there's some crazy road stories, man, and some are probably pretty cool for radio, and some maybe not, but I guess I could tell this one story here, and this would be a cool one. Okay, I'm 23 years old, right? Most of the guys, I think I'm the youngest one in the band. Everybody's like, 24, 25. And we're in California, and we're recording in Burbank, and at Ocean Studios at the time. And we're with Bo and his engineer. But the head story is, we're actually practicing and rehearsing at a rehearsal studio where Kiss and all the big bands come and rehearse their show level shows before they go out on tour. And these guys are the guys that develop the shit that they spray in the back of the trucks, that Rhino shit or whatever that spray is.
Yeah.
They sprayed it in all the heads and the speaker cabinets. Well, they developed it. Anyways, long story short, we're in Santa Monica, and I don't know about Santa Monica, I don't really know, and we're in the van. We got the band van out there. I flew out there. Guys had to drive. They had all the gear. Of course, I'm the singer. I'm the prima donna. So I flew out, got picked up, and went to Huntington Beach for a day. And then, anyway, long story short, we're in Santa Monica, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. So we're going to some club, and we get there, and, dude, there was more chicks than you can shake a stick at this place. And I'm like, holy shit, there wasn't a dude in sight. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here, So we pull up to this place, nobody knows, We pull up to this place, we start driving by, and I mean, from about 50 feet, we're talking some hot shit, right? And we get about 20 feet, 10 feet, and wait a minute, these are guys. These are guys dressed like chicks here. And, dude, we were 23, dude. We don't know. We're in Santa Monica. Evidently, Santa Monica Boulevard is known for that, man. And, there's another top-line story to that, but I won't even get into that other story, man. That's just, that one's, it's just killer, man. But that's just a little snippet of that story, but it got way worse than that.
So what did you guys do? Like, what happened?
But I didn't do anything, I'll tell you that. But yeah, one of the guys out there were like, dude, I think you did something. And he's like, no, man. I'm like, yeah, I won't get, I can do the short end of the stick story, but 3 of us went upstairs to an apartment with, the drummer at the time was like, Now, if you wanted to hear the craziest story, this is probably one of the craziest stories. Not the rock star where I met the guy story, but this is like we were just out in California on the loose story. And, Tommy and a couple of guys, they're like, let's pick up a couple of girls. I'm like, I'm just sitting back there, whatever, man, whatever. They picked up these 3 chicks, allegedly. And so we're up in the apartment, and the guitar player at the time, I won't name his name, but he's in the bathroom with this one chick. The other guitar player, which is somebody of recent descent here in the band, but he was in a bedroom with the other one, and I'm sitting out in the living room with this other chick. And the one guy comes running out of the bathroom, and you know what he's yelling? It's a dude. And dude, that was the key word for haul ass. And that was that night, man, and that was pretty interesting, man. I didn't do anything.
Right on, man. So,
yeah.
All right. So tell us about this album, and tell us about the name of the band. Actually, is there a story behind that?
Well, the actual name is really Tierney means Lord or Master of Thieves. There's no real meaning behind that as far as what this band is made up of, but the actual album itself is really just a broadcast of what's going on today and the things that are going on. I've learned one thing is that being political is a death sentence for a band if you do it, where it's broadcast to where somebody knows one side of it or the other. And so what I did with this is when I wrote this album, I actually, every song on this album has something to do with something. And, I can give synopsises of the songs, but really when people listen to them, I had some guy on Facebook with Control. He's like, man, you lost me with the devil. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, dude? And I'm like, has nothing to fucking, it was just had nothing to do with the devil. It was just a figure of speech. It was the way it was in the, but you have to read the lyrics to understand the fucking song. And, Control is about understanding, like your own emotions with what you see and hear, using that to your advantage. Like everything you hear may not be true, but you have the right to speak up about it, and control your own destiny. It's the difference between a follower and a leader, man, really. I mean, that's kind of what I do with these is I don't tell people really what it's about, only because I think that they can get multiple meanings off of these songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I give very general descriptions on each song, really, and I like to keep it that way, man. I just think it's a death sentence to, my friends know where I stand, and, I have my times where I speak with them personally, but publicly, nah, I don't get involved in it, man, because, I might have Democratic friends, I might have Republican friends, man. I don't want to fucking lose fans, and people do, they'll ditch you for it,
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Well, that's cool though. You let the listeners kind of make up their own little, make up their own mind about what they want.
Yeah.
But the fucking tracks are fucking killer, man. Everything I've heard so far, dude, is fucking awesome, man.
That's Martell Studios, man, Kingsland, Georgia. The guy does a killer job, man. Stan's he's got a great ear. He's done Saliva. He's done a lot of different stuff, man. I mean, he's a killer guy, and he's got a great ear, man, and I trust him I've done a few different recordings there, and Stan's he's a multi-talented musician too, drums, bass, guitar, whatever. I mean, he's just killer, man. And so yeah, it's a product of another Martell's recording, and just a great job, man.
Fuck yeah, man. So what can fans expect coming next? Like, what do you guys have in the fucking in the pipes coming out soon?
Well, you played the Loverboy song, which is an interesting story in itself, but that's a quick story. The Loverboy thing came because I got a lot of records, man, and I grew up in the 80s, so listened to a lot of different music, man, alternative, The Fix, Flock of Seagulls, everything from Deep Purple to, I mean, you name it, dude, everything in the 80s, man. So I was very vested, but I look back at a couple of Loverboy albums, and I say, that'd be kind of cool to metal up some of this shit, and of course I got to pay for it in royalties, but so Lucky Ones, that's we're actually shooting that video here February 5th, and that hopefully wraps up at the end of February, and we're doing it with Thomas Crane with Kill Devil Films, who's done just a magnificent job, man. He's done some fantastic work. KillDevilFilms.com, check it out, man. The guy's killer. But February 5th, and we'll wrap that up. He'll probably zip it in the end of February. In March, that video will come out, and then at that point, we feel like we're at the point where it's time to start playing. So we'll get out there and start pounding the pavement, man. We might do some short East Coast trips, might do some little short ventures, but we talked to M3 a couple weeks ago, and not on this year's trip, but possibly on next year's. Looking at some Bike Fest stuff, and some of the big stage stuff, and that kind of thing. That's kind of where we are right now, man. But March, really, we're looking at probably getting something going right now. Currently looking for some venues that we want to host besides clubs. Just maybe get 10 or 12 kegs and have everybody in town come out and just have a killer show.
Hell yeah, man. Man, you mentioned Loverboy, dude, and I can't help but think, man, about Brad Gillis, man. He's a fucking guitar player.
Killer player, yeah.
That record that he did with Ozzy, Speak of the Devil, man, that's one of my favorite Ozzy records, man.
Yeah.
No
Brad was killer, man. I guess he just didn't fit the bill for the next level with Ozzy, but
man, I wish they would have put out another record with like an actual studio record with him, because I think it would have been really good, man. I mean, Jake was killer, man, when he came in. But Brad Gillis was the only one that could play Randy Rhoads' style at the time, man, because he was so innovative and such a pioneering thing for guitar players at the time, and Brad came in, he was able to fucking do it, and I'm like, that's cool. But then, with Sharon and Ozzy, and I've got stories of that stuff. But yeah, just it's a shame, man. Brad's a killer player, man, and it's a shame. But Night Ranger was killer, man. They were kind of one of those bands that was kind of heavy, but
not quite that heavy, but it was like they had that, except for Sister Christian, but they had that moment where they were kind of heavy, you know, and they had the music for it, you know. But there was a lot of bands like that out in the 80s that were, you know, on that cuff. But it was a different time, man, different genre, man. And, you know, Death with Chuck and a lot of the stuff that was coming out of Tampa at the time. And I met Sabotage, and, you know, we had a softball. Yeah, we had a softball tournament out there when I was in Psychosis, and we were doing a benefit out there, and I can't remember the name of that fucking record store, but yeah, man, Sabotage, killer, man, killer guys. And Chris died in that car accident. I think he was coming to Orlando or something, I can't remember, but when Chris Oliva died, it was like, damn. And John I spoke with and hooked up with a couple times, and we had some good conversation in Daytona at a club they were playing at, and you know, he was kind of drug free at the time, which was interesting because I know he had a lot of demons with that shit, and just but just great guys, man. Love the band, man. We're killer, man. So it was a good time, man, for metal, you know.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, I guess I'm about out of questions for you. Is there anything else you want to let the listeners know?
Man, I mean, just, you know, let's keep fucking rocking, man, and just, you know, go to the site, you know, www.tierneyofthieves.com, and we got a lot of merchandise on there. We'll be updating a lot of things on there as well. You can buy the tracks on there as well as all the media outlets. Go look at the video, man. We got Controls out there on YouTube. Check it out, and you know, really just look for it, man. We're coming to a town near you, hopefully. In the near future, but keep tabs. Sign up on the mailing list. Go to the main page. Sign up on the mail list. You'll get mailers. Maybe even a free song. I mean, you know, whatever. We're always we try to be active on it. So you know, look us up on Facebook. All that stuff, man. Just, you know, we're here, bro. We're here to rock and roll, bro.
Fuck yeah, man. All right. Well, before I let you go, can I get you to make a station tag real quick?
Yeah, man.
All right, say something like, this is Tyranny of Thieves, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
This is Mark Hirsch, lead singer of Tyranny of Thieves, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, thanks a lot, dude, for taking the time to talk to us, man. Really appreciate it.
Man. Sorry about the hiccups in the beginning, man.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Shit happens.
All right, brother.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Tyranny of Thieves for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
All right, Zach. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
There you have it, folks. Tyranny of Thieves live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your neighbor's driveway. If you're living in the basement, duct tape your speakers to the fucking ceiling and crank this motherfucking shit up loud as a fuck. This song is called Unite and Fight.